Hello, families. This is your second grade team welcoming you for our back to school night presentation. This is being done virtually, so you can listen to this whenever it is a convenient time for you. I'm Karen Holbrook, second grade teacher.
I'm Jasmine Rebuck, also second grade teacher.
Allie Gates, I'm the third second grade teacher.
All right, so what is new in second grade? So as you know, we are currently doing school remotely and learning from home. So instead of having a desk at school, students are or should have a workspace at home, whether it's at a table or a desk or a quiet place in the house where they can have all their materials nearby. They're able to sit up straight, able to focus with limited distractions or no distractions, and to stay organized. In second grade, we're faster paced, our days are full of instruction, and we are consistently learning and teaching and ready to move on. And then we have our greater student responsibility and accountability. Students are responsible to complete their work on Canvas, and they're logging into Zoom on time for class meetings, and they're not interrupting, they're coming in on time. They also need to be held accountable for completing their graded assignments and their Canvas assignments on their own independently. Next, we're going to talk about our virtual schedule. So first, we're going to talk about our office hours. On Mondays are asynchronous days. If you need to meet with your child's teacher, you have questions, you need help with something, please set up an appointment with us. We have meetings a lot of the days on Mondays, so our time is limited, but if you let us know ahead of time, we will set up an appointment with you and we will be happy to help you. And every other day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, our set office hour times are from 9:15 to 9:45. This is the time that your teacher will be available on Zoom. We will also be available via email, and if you would text us, we can help you as well. If you would like to call and talk to us on the phone, please text us first, as we may be in a meeting with another parent. So this is the time that you come and talk to us if you need help. This is the only time during our office hours, because once we start our small group time, we're going to be working with students and we're not going to be able to help you with your questions during that time. So talking about small group instruction, we have 3 of these times during the day, from 9:45 to 10:45, 12:30 to 1:30, and 3 o'clock to 3:55. During these times, your teacher will be working with a few students at a time. When your child is not meeting with their teacher, they should be on Canvas working on their assignments. In the morning, they should be completing their reading and writing assignments. After lunch, they should do social studies and science. And then at 3 o'clock, the last hour of the day, they should be working on their math assignments. And then every day, this does not change, Tuesday through Friday, from 10:45 to 11:30, we will have our whole group live instruction for language arts and social studies. And from 2:15 to 3 o'clock every day, we will have our math and science instruction with the whole class. So please make sure that your students are attending and they are there on time or a few minutes early, and so they're not missing any instruction. Lunch is from 11:30 to 12:30, and the only other thing is encore from 1:30 to 2:15. Each of our classes have a different encore every day, so we will continue to communicate what encore the students have each day. Everyone has access to their encore classes on their dashboard on Canvas, except for library and for FLES. Right now there is no FLES, so if it's a FLES day, that means your child has no encore. For now, library is on Zoom, which you can find on your teacher's homepage on the library button. So in order for us to have a successful learning experience, it requires a commitment from the student, the parent, and the teacher. We are a team, and in order for us to be successful, we need to work together. So our teacher expectations, what you can expect from us, is whether we are meeting on virtual or we're back at school in the classroom meeting face-to-face, we're going to provide a safe learning environment for all students. We are going to teach the curriculum, the second grade standards from Virginia. We're going to support student interests, encourage and motivate students, and prepare students for third grade. Students are expected to do their best, work hard, be honest, and take responsibility for themselves. In social studies, we're talking about being honest and practicing self-discipline and self-reliance. So students are expected to continue to do that throughout the entire school year.
So continuing with student expectations, we ask that they read for at least 20 minutes a day outside of their learning time. Students are also required to complete their Canvas assignments independently, as this tells us what they still need help with and what our small group instruction should be geared towards. We also require them to be online for class. This is live sessions and their scheduled small groups so they don't miss any important information. And when they're not meeting with their teachers, they should be completing their Canvas assignments every day, including Mondays. So what we expect from you guys as parents, we expect you to provide support for their Canvas assignments, but only if it is needed and the assignments are not graded. We also expect that you discuss practicing self-discipline and being self-reliant. This is something we talk about in social studies, but it's also, as part of that partnership, important that they hear it from you. And this includes navigating Canvas independently and getting on their Zoom meetings. We understand that a lot of you all are working and your kids are not always able to be with you. So even though they're only 7, 8 years old, they really need to be working on getting into those things on their own, since you won't necessarily always be around to help them get in. And also we want you to talk to them about being a positive role model in class. Right now that means virtually participating in class, showing students good Zoom expectations, but also when we go back face to face, we want them to already have an understanding of those expectations. So with that in mind, we want to give you an overview of the learning options that will come out in a new county survey. We know that you already filled one out at the beginning of the year. They will be sending out a new one soon. And so we wanted to go over the options with you. First is 100% virtual, which means that students will continue to learn as they are now on Zoom with their live lessons and through Canvas asynchronously. Option 2 would be our 50-50 hybrid model. This would be that students go to school 2 days a week in person and then attend the other 3 days on Canvas asynchronously. Now, keep in mind that 50-50 means that only half the class is going in at a time. So those 2 days may not be right after each other. And your student may be in school one day, online the next. Also keep in mind that with this model, they will receive no live instruction from their teacher and have almost no access to their teachers on the days that they are learning asynchronously. Now, option 3 is the K-3 50-50 hybrid model. This model is very similar to the 50-50 model, but only kindergarten through 3rd grade would be going back to school. So jumping over to our learning expectations, we're going to start with reading. So we follow the guided reading program, and students will meet in their assigned small groups based on their skill levels after PALS assessments are completed. Now, we must complete PALS assessments for all students before we are able to set them in small groups, so we know which students are going to be able to work together and that we can meet the needs of all our students. We will also be focusing on improving fluency and their comprehension skills based on what they need. Students are also expected to read at home to improve their reading skills outside of their time with their teacher. For our writing expectations, we really encourage your children to write at home to get that practice outside of the time that they're with us, especially now that most of their writing is done through the computer and they will be typing, which brings us to another important point of practicing typing on the computer. We understand that they are young and they are still learning how to use the keyboard, and a lot of them are using it for the first time. But we want them to be practicing doing that on their own instead of having you type for them, so they build that self-reliance and independence. We also encourage them to sound out words. One, that gives us an understanding of how they got to the word and the spelling that they got to, and it also helps us understand what we need to still work on with our phonics and our letter sounds. We are going to be working on writing incomplete sentences, which includes capitalization and punctuation. And also, students can write about what they have read during their 20 minutes or anything they would like to while they're at home. It's a free writing period. But we just really want you to be encouraging your child to write at home. And then math. For math, even virtually, students will receive instruction using Orgo and Math Investigations materials, and students will work in their assigned small groups with the teachers based on their needs for remediation or extension. Now remember, small groups are not finalized yet due to PALS testing and other beginning of the year's testing, so once that is completely finished, we will give you an updated schedule on their small groups. Also, small groups will most likely change throughout the year, especially if we stay virtually. You will have to get a new small group time as children grow and their needs change.
Okay, and we're going to also, for science and social studies, we wanted you to be aware that units will be changing probably every 2 to 4 weeks. They may or may not change at the same time, so be aware of that. A unit letter will be posted on our second grade page and on our Canvas home pages at the beginning of each unit. Just a helpful hint, when you get those letters from your teachers, please review the facts that are on these letters and their instructional materials each day, because although we are trying to teach these classes, incorporating them with some of our other lessons, we want to make sure that they are getting all of the information they need for any quizzes and tests that will come up. Okay, so our grading scale in second grade. Please be aware that your child, the standards go up a little bit higher as they come to second grade. Our expectations may be a little bit higher, but your students can meet them. On our grading scale, we have an S+, which is equivalent to a 4 on our rubrics. And that would mean that a student is exceeding grade level expectations to our standards every single time. And this needs to be something that's consistent every day, every time. To get a 3, which is equivalent to an S, they are meeting grade level standards. That is the average child. The average child will get an S on most assignments. In order to get a 2, which is an S-, that would tell us that they still are working a little bit trying to understand some of the content. That is that they are approaching meeting the grade level standards. They're getting there. They're just not quite there 100% yet. And a 1 is equivalent to an N. An N means that they need constant teacher help and direction in order to complete any of their assignments. They're not able to demonstrate full understanding of our concepts, so that it's only partial understanding that they are showing us. And parents, we want you to know that with our Canvas now, students will need to be looking to see if assignments are graded. Typically, if an assignment is a graded assignment, we have noted that on the assignment as well as provided a rubric, which will show you and your student what they have to do in order to get the grade that they are hoping to receive. And at this point, any assignments that are not completed or not turned in, they will be counted as an N in our grade books. Please be double checking consistently to ensure that your child is completing all assignments each day. And if your student is going to be absent, please call the school office to inform them of that, as well as, or you can also email Miss Tui in the school office. She is not physically there each day, but she has access to her email every day. You may also email her at her email address, which is posted here, and let her know if your student is going to be absent. If your child is just going to miss a small group or a small portion of the day, please let your child's teacher know so that we can accommodate them accordingly. Okay, so an ongoing communication between us and our families. We want to tell you that we really adore the time we have with your children. However, we have been told that we need to unplug on the weekends, and we are feeling the effects of that. So in response to that, your teachers on the second grade team are not going to be available for questions and to provide assistance on the weekends. If you have a question, please feel free to email us. Do not be surprised if that email is not answered until Sunday evening or possibly Monday morning. Please figure a time to come and meet us in our office hours if you possibly can, but know that we need to have some downtime away from computers, away from electronics, and we really need that time to recharge ourselves. If you have anything that you need to communicate to us or the school, please call the school phone, which is listed here. You have your child's email. If you have misplaced it, they are listed here for Miss Rebuck, Miss Holbrook, and Miss Gates. You can also go to our grade level website, which is right at Enterprise Schools, PWCS. On our school website, you will see school-wide events. You will be able to find information for each of your specific Encore teachers. Any information that you need will be there, as well as the second grade website. Parents, we can't tell you and stress enough how important it is to be associated, connected with ParentVue. That is where you're going to get messages. That's where you're going to get information from us, from the schools. That is an essential connection to us. So we want you to have access to ParentVue. You will also be getting your students' report cards and anything else that goes along with that grade book, whatever, that's going to come through ParentVue. And we also have Seesaw. This is a big part of what we want to be able to incorporate with our students, and Miss Rebuck is going to explain more of that for us.
Yes. So Seesaw is a child-friendly app, and it's free. And it is basically where students can post pictures, take videos of their work, and share it with their teachers. They're able to record themselves reading. They're able to type notes or draw pictures. It's very user-friendly, and our students in the past have absolutely loved it. We will also be assigning activities, especially for math and science and social studies, as well as reading, for kids to do outside of Canvas. They're a little more kid-friendly, and they're specifically for what we're targeting and learning the skills in our whole group instruction. So please, please, please connect to your child's student journals using the home learning codes if you haven't already. If you need your home learning code again, please contact your teacher, let us know. We'll be happy to share it with you. Seesaw is we find it to be much more friendly and accessible. So if it's easier for you, if you're having difficulty to upload your child's assignments onto Canvas, they can easily post it. Just take a picture of it on Seesaw and upload it, and we will get the notification and we will count that as a grade as well, whatever is easier for you. So we encourage you to download Seesaw if you haven't already. And I just wanted to add that when Ms. Holbrook was talking about attendance, if you know your child is missing a class or has missed a class, we also record all of our whole group live instruction meetings, not our small groups, our whole group. So if your child has missed a lesson, please feel free to go back to the Canvas page for the module under that day. We have it posted and they are able to access that at any time after the lesson. But for our final thoughts, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. We are super excited to be working with you guys this year, and we have loved getting to know your kids these first 3 weeks of school. Thank you for all of your support. We're in this together, and we hope you guys let's have a great year together.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.